Since 1976, Apple has made countless devices. Some iconic devices include the iMac G3, the original iPod, the first iPad, and the Apple Newton. For the wrong reasons. I have looked through some Apple devices and have created a list of my top 5 Apple devices. Before we begin, this is my subjective list. Please don't take it as facts. So, without a further ado, this is my top 5 Apple devices. To start this list, number 5 is the iPod Nano 3rd Gen. The 3rd Gen Nano switched up the design formula. Instead of being like a candy bar like the previous 2 Nanos, the 3rd Gen went for a bigger and more beefier design. It was released in late 2007 and with a price tag of $149. I always was intrigued by the design of the 3rd Gen Nano, as that design was great for displaying media. For number 4 on this list, I present to you the iPad Air 2. The iPad Air 2 was one of the best iPads of all time. Its longevity is just insane, as it was supported with mainline iOS and Apatos updates from 2014 to 2021 and is still getting security updates. It was also the first iPad to add Touch ID and came bundled with the still decent A8X SoC. The design is timeless and it was still being used until May of this year with the iPad 9th Gen. To sum it up, the iPad Air was top-tier Apple. At number 3 is the iPhone 6 Seconds. The iPhone 6 Seconds will go down as one of the greatest iPhones of all time. Why do I say that? Well, for starters, let's come what the 6 Seconds brought to the table. A forgotten feature, 3D Touch was added, which allowed your phone to pressure sensitive, so when you'd press down hard on the display, a menu would pop up. It also bumped the megapixel count from 8 to 12, which meant it was the first iPhone with 4K capabilities. The RAM also doubled from 1 to 2 GB, which helped it get 7 different iOS versions from iOS 9 to iOS 15, compared to the iPhone 6 that only got 5 different versions. The 6 Seconds was also more durable than the regular 6, as it was the phone that fixed bendgate. That is why the iPhone 6 Seconds is at number 3 on this list. The MacBook Air was always an innovative device. It was born out of innovation. The MacBook Air M1 was an innovative device that has set the trend forward for years to come. It was one of the first Apple Macs to get Apple Silicon in late 2020, and 4 years later, it's still as good as it was then. So good that it was sold for years. Apple Silicon in the Mac changed the way Mac could work. It brought better battery life and better thermals, which was so good that the MacBook Air dropped the fan. For $1,000, you got a laptop that would last years to come. And as such, the MacBook Air M1 is number 2 on my list. So what's number 1? Obviously the Newton. I'm just kidding. The real number 1 spot is the first iPhone. The first iPhone changed the world as it started the smartphone revolution. Without it, the world would have been a better place. The first iPhone, better known as the iPhone 2 grams, had a then large touch screen rather than physical buttons. It was a music player, a web browsing machine, and of course a phone. While the iPhone 2 grams might not be the best phone, it definitely is one of, if not the most revolutionary device, not just from Apple, but from the whole tech space, thus earning number 1 on my list. Do you agree or disagree with my picks? Leave a comment below to tell me your top 5 list. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment. And don't forget to subscribe.